You have a model in Fusion 360, you want to 3D print it. So next steps. When we can't go straight to a 3D printer, we need to first send it to a slicer, which is basically taking the 3D model, cutting it up into layers, and then basically those layers, it goes to the software, tells the actual tool head, the print head, where to go. It gives it X and Y coordinates and slices it into layers. It's called a slicer, hence the name. So a couple options. You can file, export as an STL file, stereolithographic file, and that'll basically send that 3D model to any type of slicer you want to send it to. Or you can 3D print the part, or basically send it to a 3D print here. And since we have Cura installed on the desktop, I think we can send it straight there. So either way you do it, it's going to ask me to select the part. This is the part I'm going to select. We're going to export it in millimeters. Refinement is medium, that's fine. And the print utility is Cura. So it recognized that right on here. I'm not sure if it recognized it because I have Cura installed and it knew that, or if that comes as a preset, but that's the one that we're going to send it to. Okay, so this is going to be smart enough to open Cura itself to send the part over. It's going to think about that for a moment. But if you did the STL route, that's totally fine too. In Cura, you can go to the little file folder over here, click on that. Well, it's thinking, not responding. Oh, probably because Fusion's still talking to it and doing its thing. There we go. And you can open up an example part right there. There's my STL file that I exported. But it opened up a separate one already. So Fusion talked to the Ultimaker, and we're good to go. So a couple things. Center wheel will grab and pan and move over. Right click will orbit around so you can look at the different parts. Over here on the left, you have some tools if you select the part itself. First one up is just moving it. You can either grab the arrows or input actual values here to move it around. Second one is a scale. If you needed to scale this up or down via percentage, you can add that here. Otherwise, it'll come in with the same dimensions that you made in the actual file. This is an important one, the rotation. It gives you kind of 3 orbits to rotate this around. A lay flat button, so that if you do tilt it, you can use the lay flat so that it brings it back down onto the build plate flat and doesn't do kind of one of these things. But this is the one I want to show you, the select face to align to build plate. It doesn't always choose the right face. Sometimes we come in like this, which is how we modeled the part. That's how we want to look at it. We want to think through what it's actually going to do. If you see that little red spot right there, the teal tells me that that's flat on the build plate, so it's happy. But the red doesn't have enough support. Basically meaning the print head is going to come over to this section. It's not going to have anything to print on. Now you can get away with a little bit of curvature. If you zoom in here, again, the scroll wheel will do that for you. If you zoom into that section, you get a little bit of overhang here that it can handle. But once you get too far, it's telling you, hey, I can't, I need support to add that onto. So you have a couple options. You can add support here in the settings. You can add the support right there. But it's more important to choose, is this the right face to build on? So you have a couple options. Select face to build on. If I choose this one, lost it. If I choose this one, it's standing up. That's definitely not a good idea because now I have more parts overhanging. I want to avoid the overhang. But if I choose this face, now I don't have any overhang. And it's going to build right up. So I don't need any support for that one. So that's kind of the best choice for the most economical choice for this one. So after that, there is some mirroring options. There's some duplicating options, some mesh types that we're really not going to get into and worry about. So mostly focus on the selecting the right face to build on so you have the least amount of supports. And when you do need supports, you're going over here and choosing support from this menu and adhesion if you need to. This thing doesn't need any supports, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Adhesion is always a good idea because that takes this outer side. I went over to the preview tab over here and adds a little brim around the outside. It helps it hold onto the build plate, makes sure it doesn't scoot